Ma'am is joining, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So yesterday we are talking about uh, different relationships, and we already discussed the contrary relationship between A and E. Okay, we already discussed this contrary relationship between A and E. So for this, as I told you, if we know that one is true, then definitely other will be false. But if one is false, then there can be both possibilities. This can be true and this can be also false. Other is undefined. This is contrary. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone having any doubt in this contrary relationship? No doubt. Then next relationship we were talking about I and O, and this is known as sub-contrary. What is sub-contrary relationship? Sub-contrary relationship is that if one is false, then other must be true. But if one is true, other is undefined. So in this, I was giving you some possibilities in which one is true and how other can be undefined. So for undefined, it should have both possibilities. It can be true and it can be false. So just try to understand one thing. If I'm writing this statement, all humans are kind, then what will be the validity of this statement? Some humans are kind. What will be the validity of this statement? If I am telling you this one is true, then what will be the validity of this statement?
It's true, sir. Both may or may not. It's also true, sir. It's also true. Because
It's
all are.
huh. As I gave you example now, for example, 40 students are there in a class. 40 students are there in a class, and everyone is wearing red. So this statement will be true. All students are wearing red. So Some students are wearing red. This will also be true. Some
Yes, sir.
students are. This will also be true. So what I want to explain is that if any condition is going to true for if any condition is going to be true for universal
Positive.
statement, universal positive statement, then it should be true for uh, particular positive, or if we are taking universal negative, then it will be true for particular negative. It is because in universal we are talking about everyone, and in particular we are just talking about some of those everyone. So if a condition is applied to everyone, then it will be applied to some particular person also. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone having any doubt?
Understand, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anita ma'am, Manoj sir, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, in this, you said that every student is wearing red, and
Huh.
then that one next one is some students are wearing red. So, it is true. If you say that every student is wearing red, and then some students are not wearing red,
Huh. Then if all students are wearing red and some students are not wearing red, then uh, it will be like it will be definitely false.
yeah, got it.
Yeah, that is other condition. But right now, just focus on this. And why I am telling you this? This is actually a different relationship. This is subaltern relationship. I will explain the subalterns. But why I am telling this? To explain this, if one is false, then other must be true. We all understood this. If one is false, then other must be true. If uh, But if one is true, other is undefined. So I want to explain you to imagine this undefined, to imagine both the cases. Now let's take an example. For example, uh, some humans are kind. So what will be the other statement for this? What will be the O statement for this? Some humans are not kind.
Yes, sir.
So I am telling you that this one is true. And if this one is true, this one is undefined. So we have to provide both the cases so that we can actually say this one is undefined. So first case, if 100 humans are there in a class, 50 humans are kind and 50 humans are not kind. In this scenario, this statement is true and this statement is also true.
True.
Is it
Yes, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Condition: 100 humans are there in class. Out of 100 humans, everyone is kind. So this statement will be,
True.
Will also false, sir.
this
Yes,
state
sir. For a
this
true,
statement
sir.
will be true because
True.
everyone is kind. So out of
Some-
them, some humans will also be kind.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Be true. But will this statement be true?
No, sir.
No.
Will be false.
Okay. So that's what I want to explain you. If one is true, then other can be true or false. Okay, one more thing. If you just every time you cannot imagine everything, so just at least try to remind these thing, or try to remember these thing. Contrary, what's the main point is contrary. If one is true, other will be definitely false. If one is false, other is undefined. In sub contrary, just opposite of that. If one is false, other must be true, and if one is true, other is undefined. So this is contrary and sub contrary. Now let's come to the third one. Third relation is called subalterns. Subalterns relationship. So subalterns relationship is between two type of statement. So what are those two type statement?
AI and EO.
AI and EO. Okay. So for subalterns, a similar condition applied to both the points. That's why they are given the same name, subalterns. Like in this, uh, IO and AE, different conditions were there. So that's why they were given different name. Relationship is given different name. But for AI and for relationship between EO, these follow similar condition. That's why these are given similar names. And the condition, what is the condition? Condition is down with true. What is this down with true means? Down with true means if the upward value, those values we are which are at top, if top value is true, then down value will definitely true. If top value is true, for example, if A is true, then I will be definitely true. Why I am telling this? You already know that if 100 students out of 100 are wearing red, all students are wearing red, then definitely if you take any of them, those some student will also be wearing red. If no student are wearing red, means E is true, then out of them some student are also will be not wearing red, so this will be also true. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Down with true means if up value is true, then down value will definitely be true. Why? Because if we are telling about all the population, then it will be also applied to some of its individual. For example, if we are saying all Indians are true citizen, if we are telling this all Indians are true citizen or good citizen, then it will be also applied to some of Indians which are sitting in this class. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
why it's down with true. Now, can we say that if some of Indians are good citizen, then can we claim that all Indians will be good citizen?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So this is also you have to remember that down with true, but not up with true. If down value is true, we cannot say anything about this value because if in a class, if some student are good, then all student can or cannot be good. So what I want to say, if the down statements are true, then up statements will be undefined. This is first rule of this relationship. Now let's talk about second rule of this relationship. Second rule, subalterns. Second rule. What will be the second rule of subalterns? I'm just writing A and I. You can apply this on the remaining ones. Okay, next rule is up with false. For example, up with false means if this is false, then the upward value will also be false. If down value is false, then top value will must be false. If down value is false, then top value will must be false. Now let's take example of this up with false. If I am telling you that this is I and this is A. If I am telling you some students are good. So what will be the A statement for this?
All students are good.
All students are good. So if I am telling you that this statement is false, means some students are not good. So how can all students can be good? So this will also be false. If we know that some students are not good, means in a whole population, some students are not good, then how can we say that whole population is good? So if downward value is false, upward value will definitely be false. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's understood this in the next scenario. E, I. Oh, sorry. Oh. Some students are not good. It for E it will be no student are good. Okay, if some students are not good, if this statement is false, means some students are good. So it will be automatically false. No student are good. So in this also, if down statement is false, then upward statement will be also false. Now I think you understood this. Now, what if down statement, if up statement is false? Now, just a minute.
Because
Yes, now question is, if upward statement is false, I am telling you this one is false. So tell about this one.
because it was already mentioned all are good. So in some in that some will be false is not true.
Okay, what I am asking that all students are good. This statement is false. Okay.
Okay.
So some students are good. What will be the validity of that statement?
It
True.
will also be false, sir.
False.
It
False.
will also be false.
Yes.
Okay, think again. I already told you this is up with false. This is
Then
not down with.
it will be true now because all students are false. So some students are also good. All
All
students.
students are good. This is false statement.
Okay.
Some students are good. Will it be true or will it be false?
False, sir.
False,
Okay,
sir. False. It will be false.
it
False.
will be false. But what if I give you one example? If out of 100 students, only 50 are good, then will this statement be true?
No, sir. False.
And will this statement be true?
No, sir.
Some students are good.
Sir, yes, sir. It's true.
It's true. So that's what I want to explain you that if upward statement is false, then we cannot say something about downward statement.
Undefined.
Undefined.
Fine. Okay. So this you have to remember. If top value is true, then down value will definitely be true. But if top value will false, then down value will be undefined. You have to follow only what is written here. You cannot made new rules based on some pattern. Like if upward value is true, downward is also true, then upward is false, downward is also false. You cannot make your own rules based on resemblance or based on some pattern. You have to only follow what is written here. If down value is false, then upward value must be false. Rule number second, up with false. But if down value is true, then top value will be
Undefined.
undefined. Okay. So this is subalterns. Those things which I have not written here, those all things are undefined. And side by side, I am also giving you example, but I'm sure first time when we start studying this, after some time you will forget those example. But just keep these rules in mind, and after some time when you start doing question on this, after some time you will uh, already remember all these example. You can already then make your own example. So if you are having difficulty in understanding or remembering these example, it's okay. After some time with question you will be easy with all these examples. Okay. Next relationship or last relationship, contradictory. Contradictory relationship. So contradictory relationship is between A and O, and between E and I. This is contradictory relationship. So between A and O, they have given it same name, contradictory, and between I and E also they have given the same name. It means both the relationship are having same properties. Now let's discuss the properties of contradictory relationship. So contradictory relationship means if one preposition is true, then other will be definitely false. And if one okay, first let's understand this only. If one is true, then other will be okay. Okay, Usha ma'am, you joined from this MDYA
Yes,
ID.
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay, if one is true, okay, you can wait for, if you are not understanding this, you can wait for next 5 minutes. In next 5 minutes, we will start new topic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If one is true, then other will be definitely false. Till now, we are discussing contradictory relationship. Contradictory relationship is between two statements. One is A and O, and other between I and E. The relationship is also contradictory relationship. So both relationship are given name contradictory, means both are following some same pattern, both are having same characteristic. So rule number one for contradictory relationship is that if one is true, other other will be definitely false. Now let's take an example of this. If there is a type statement, all students are good. What will be the contradictory statement for this?
Mm,
Some students are not good.
No student. No,
No,
Some
no.
students
some students are not good.
are not good.
Some
It will be
students
false.
are not good. Yes. So if I am telling you all students are good, it is a correct statement. If everyone in your class is good, then how can some student are not good? It will be false. You can also apply this to like vice versa. If I am telling you that some students are not good, it is true student, it is true statement. Then can all student can be good?
No, no, sir.
Is true, then it will be false. If some students are not good, then we cannot say that all students are good. That means it is false statement. Similarly, the same will happen with E and I. So if one is true, then other will be definitely false. Now let's just check this statement with, if one is false, then what will be the other statement? For example, all students are good. If this is false statement, then what can we say about this? Uh, some students are not good. What can we say about this? If one is false, then other will be
True.
Def-
True, sir.
definitely true. Can you imagine?
Undefined, sir.
Okay, why undefined? Just give me two example where this one is false, this one is true, and this one is false. Two example or two condition.
If all students are good is false,
Huh.
then, for example, if they say that 100 students are good is false,
Huh? It means out of if 100 students are good, okay, 100 students are good. If this is
Good.
false, if this is false statement, that means out of these 100 student, some student will not be good. That's why it is written here ki some all student are good. It is false statement.
Yes, sir.
So it will be definitely true. Okay,
Mm,
we cannot say that it is undefined because this other condition we cannot give any possibility.
mm,
This is the only relationship where if one is true, other must be definitely false, and if one is false, then other
Other
will
will
be
definitely be true.
okay. So I am writing here vice versa. You can understand this. So right now, these all are, you can take screenshot of this, and what I have written here, only you have to follow this, and what I have not written here, that is undefined, as I already explained you. This is contrary, this is subcontrary, this is subalterns, and this is subalterns rule number 2, and this is contradictory relationship, and this is condition for contradictory relationship. Okay, so now we have just
Sir, could you please second rules of this contradict?
second rule of contradictory. Second rule of contradictory is same
Okay.
like
Yeah, yeah, okay, sir. I just want to take screenshot. That's all, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. Taken, sir.
Okay. So we already discussed this. Now only one topic is remaining. This topic is very easy. You just have to understand fallacies. What is fallacies? Fallacies are some mistakes in argument. Some mistakes in argument that are done intentionally or unintentionally. So mistakes in argument can be of two types. One is formal fallacies. One is formal fallacies means some mistake in structure of argument. Right now, just as I told you, let's take an example like all A are B, all B are C, and all A are C. So in this is minor term, this is major term, and this is middle term. Okay. So as I already told you, this is a structure of a syllogism. Means the middle term is present in both the premises, and minor term will be present in conclusion, and in minor premise major term will be present in conclusion and will be present in major premise. Now there are some mistakes in this. Some mistakes in this some mistakes can happen in the structure of this syllogism. For example, I can write here all B are A. So in this, your major term is only present in conclusion but not present in any of the premises. So the rule a syllogism should follow, it is now broken. So why it is broken? Because the structure of the syllogism is not good. So this is formal fallacies where the basic rules or fundamental rules of a syllogism, of a categorical argument, syllogism argument is broken. Those conditions are known as formal fallacies. Now, what about informal fallacies? So, informal fallacies, as informal, every in every places, informal means it is not related with any particular structure or something. Informal fallacies means when we are giving argument to something, when we are trying to prove our point, when we are talking with something, and intentionally and unintentionally we are trying to manipulate that person, we are trying to give that person a false argument to prove our point, then it is known as informal fallacies. One example of formal fallacies we already understood. One example of informal fallacies. Uh, for example, when uh, when we are like in our school, and I will give my example only. When I was in my school, uh, if anything will happen, like if I will forgot something in my school, if I am not getting good marks in some subject, or if I am having some pain like stomach pain, chest pain, so my mother will directly comes to a point that you are playing video games all the day. I am having chest pain because you are playing video games all the day. I forgot my uh, pen in school because you are playing video games all the day. So your mind is not there. So these type of argument, like where there is no particular relationship, these type of argument are known as informal fallacies. That time I don't have knowledge of this informal and formal fallacy. So this informal fallacies everyone is using when you are having fight with someone, especially you are having fight with your friends or your families. Then these informal fallacies you are using intentionally, and just we have to know the type which informal fallacies you all are using. So first we will study formal fallacies. The formal fallacies, these are characterized by argument that poses an invalid structure or form. First one is existential fallacy. It is also known as existential installation. So what is existential fallacies? When two universal premises to arrive at a particular conclusion, means when we have called it existential fallacies, and it means when you have two universal premises: all students are good, all boys are good, some students are boys. Here what is happening, both our premises are universal premises. So this is law, this is like a rule of syllogism. When you have both premises as your universal premises, then you cannot conclude with a particular conclusion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
This is logical form. All x are y or z are x, so all z are y. You cannot form a particular conclusion. Fallacy of undistributed middle. It does not. Okay. Okay. For this undistributed middle, and two more things are there. Two more things are there: illicit major and illicit minor. These we will discuss later. I think To explain you this undistributed middle, illicit major, illicit minor, please note it down. We will discuss it later after we will discuss that Venn diagram. Because if I will explain this without Venn diagram, I don't think it will be understandable or not. So we will discuss this later. Okay, this one also, model scope fallacy. Fallacy of exclusive premises. So this is rule number 2. And if that rule is broken, then this is known as fallacy, mistake of exclusive premises. So what is this? So please be careful in all these fallacies, because this fallacy and the next one or two fallacies, these are like somewhat identical. So you have to make difference in all these 2 or 3 fallacies. Fallacy of exclusive premises. What this fallacy says? This fallacy says that if a categorical syllogism has 2 negative premises, either in the form of no x and y or some x are not y, if your 2 premises are negative premises means all no student are good, some student are not good. So this premises tells that if your both the premises are negative premises, then you cannot reach to a conclusion. No conclusion. And if you are concluding something, then it is wrong. You are doing fallacy. You can understand it like this. If I am telling you about someone, for example, a person A, I'm telling you about this A. This A is not lazy. This A is not hardworking. This A is not kind. Can you understand something about this person A, like how this person is? If I will just give this is not this, this is not this, this is not this, you cannot conclude or you cannot understand in your mind that how this person A is. Because for that I have to at least tell you a positive thing about this A, like this A is hardworking or this is lazy, so that only you can make a some particular image of this A in your mind. So that's why this fallacy tells us that if there is both the negative premises present in a categorical argument, then it cannot lead to a conclusion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next we have affirmative conclusion from a negative premises. Now please try to understand the difference between this previous fallacy and this fallacy. As I already told you, if both the premises are negative, it cannot be lead to a conclusion. But what if one of the premises is negative? For example, P1 is negative or P2 is negative. So this fallacy says that if one of the premise is negative, then the conclusion will always be positive. Okay, sorry.
I think it will be negative, right, sir?
It will be negative, yes. If one of the premise is negative, then the conclusion will also be negative. And if you are concluding a positive conclusion and one of your premise is negative, then it is a fallacy. I am telling you both the things. The rule of syllogism, which is broken, which should be followed, and which is broken. So now these fallacies come, these mistakes comes. So The rule is saying, first you can write down the rule. The rule is that if one of the premise is negative, then the conclusion must be negative. But if in your syllogism, one of the premise is negative and you are coming to a affirmative conclusion, like no people under the age of 60 are senior citizen, I type statement, no senior citizen are children. This is also I type statement. So you cannot lead to a positive conclusion. In this example, you cannot conclude to any of the conclusion because both the premises are negative. So if both the premises are negative, we cannot conclude even a negative conclusion. Okay, let's write here, I think. First rule, if both premises are negative, then there cannot be any conclusion. But if you are breaking that rule, then which fallacy will be there?
Sir, the first kind, fallacy of exclusive premise.
Fallacy of exclusive premises. Very good. Okay, next, rule number 2. If one premise is negative, then conclusion must be
Negative.
conclusion must be negative. And if you are breaking this rule, then fallacy will be
The affirmative conclusion
negative.
from a negative premise.
Yes. So this is affirmative conclusion from negative premises. Next is negative conclusion from affirmative premises. I think you already understood this. If two of the premises are positive, then it cannot lead to a
Negative conclusion.
But if you are leading to a negative conclusion, then it is fallacy, and this fallacy is known as negative conclusion from affirmative premises.
So
For
just
example,
give a few seconds. We are trying to make some notes.
okay. If you are writing it down, please let me know. Then I can give you time, and it is a good thing to writing in your own language.
So here in negative conclusion, if both the premises are positive, right?
One is rule and one is breaking of rule. So rule is if two premises are positive, then conclusion will always be positive. And fallacy is you are breaking that rule. You are presenting a negative conclusion to two positive premises. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. So the fallacy is if both premises are positive, then there can never be a negative conclusion from that.
And if you are presenting the negative conclusion, then it will be a
It is a
mistake.
yeah. If we are presenting it, there will be a negative conclusion from affirmative premise.
This fallacy will be there. Fallacy means error, mistakes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So would they be asking questions like what kind of fallacy is this and things like that?
Yeah, from fallacies, they usually ask question, and more chances are from informal fallacies, but they can also ask from formal fallacies. After this will be completed, we will We will
So
do some.
now all these fall under which category? The exclusive premise, the affirmative conclusion from negative premise, and the negative conclusion from affirmative premise. These
These,
things come under formal fallacies.
these all are formal fallacies because there is like some mistakes in structure. Formal means there should be structurally organized things. But if things are not structurally organized, then there is formal fallacies. Informal means those argument mistake which we are doing in our day-to-day life. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's move towards this informal fallacies. These mistakes we are doing every day if we are having argument with someone, and it is also possible that someone is doing these informal fallacies against you. So first,
Sir,
informal.
just to conclude what we did in rule one, which is exclusive premise under formal fallacy, if both the premises are negative, I'm talking just about the fallacy, not about the rule. If both the premises are negative and
Mhm.
there is a conclusion,
Then it
then
is
it is exclusive premise.
fallacy of exclusive premises.
Hmm? And rule two, which is the affirmative conclusion from a negative premise, there, if one premise is negative, then the conclusion is
Your
then the
conclusion
conclusion
is
must be negative. That's the rule. And if the conclusion is not negative, then it is an affirmative conclusion fallacy.
huh,
And the third one is rule three is a negative conclusion from affirmative premise, where if both the premises are positive, then the conclusion is negative. That is negative conclusion
huh,
from affirmation premise. Is that right, sir?
it is also a fallacy. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone else is understanding this. Any doubts you can ask regarding this formal fallacies? Three or four formal fallacies are remaining, which we will cover after understanding the Venn diagram. Okay, any doubt anyone is having in formal fallacies?
No, sir.
Okay, now let's move towards this informal fallacies which we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, first is ad hominem premises. Ad hominem fallacy. So when we use that ad hominem fallacy, for example, if someone we are debating with someone and someone is giving us a argument, like for example, this is person A, he is giving us a argument. So morally, what we should do, we should reply to his argument and we should uh, we should explain him regarding this argument. So sometimes what happens, we don't have answer for this argument. So what we do, we start targeting this person, personal attack, so that this argument will be weak. This is known as ad hominem. For example, I am I am telling you that in this World Cup, some player, let it be anyone, he should play fast. Any player, he should play fast. I am telling you this. So if you don't have any answer for this argument and you are against of this argument, then what you will do, you will not reply to this argument, you will reply to me like, how you can say this, you are not a cricketer and they are better than you. You are targeting the person who is giving you argument. This is ad hominem. Again, for example, if you are telling about some politician that this politician is corrupt, you can understand anyone according to your choice. If some politician is corrupt and you are telling this to your brother and your brother is not liking your argument, so he will tell you, how can you say anyone corrupt? You are yourself the most corrupt man. So this is ad hominem fallacy, when an argument attack the person making the argument rather addressing the argument itself. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
this is
instead of going with another argument or doing anything which is
instead of
like, yeah. So what I understood is, if a person makes an argument and that is not going well with the other person, then they kind of get into a personal attack.
personal attack, and they will be uh, they will start questioning their personality, like to weak the argument of that person. And it mostly happens when we have a fight between family relation, when we have fight between uh, a father and son, a husband and wife, and two brothers, if they are fighting, and if someone is presenting a strong argument and other don't have reply for that argument, what he will say, he will directly attack on personality, like you also have done that, you are not good enough to say this. So when we are targeting the person who is giving argument rather than addressing the argument itself, this is ad hominem. Homo sapiens is scientific name of humans. So we are attacking humans
So
rather than
here, um, the other person does not have a valid counter argument, right? If they do
ha,
not have a valid counter argument, that is when they go on to attack personally based on
ha,
irrelevant things.
they do not have a valid counter argument or a strong counter argument. So they go to personality of that person and they attack the person who is doing argument. This is ad hominem. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ad populum fallacy. What is ad populum fallacy? Ad populum fallacy is that if you are accepting something, if you are going to a popular belief, it can be understand with stereotypes. Stereotypes means social beliefs. Social beliefs. Ad populum fallacies means when Someone argues that a claim must be true or false because it is popular or widely believed. For example, like, have you heard of Nirmal Baba? Or there is, let's take anyone, any Baba or any spiritual guru, which is not true, which is like hypocrisy is there. So if you are telling someone that he is not good, he is hypocrite, so what they will tell you, कि how can you say that thousands of people are going to him? I think many of you have heard this argument. If you are telling that BJP is not a good political party, then some supporter of BJP will tell you, how can you say that thousands of people, millions of people are giving their vote to BJP? Then how can you say that it is not a good political party? Similar for Congress. If you are telling Congress is not a political party, then some supporter will say you, how can you say that from 70 years people are giving vote to Congress? So ad populum fallacies means when someone argues that a claim must be true if it is popularly believed to be true, or a claim must be false if it is popularly believed to be false. For example, if you are arguing with someone that ghost doesn't exist and he will reply to you like, how can you say that ghost doesn't exist? Everyone believes that ghost doesn't exist. So what everyone believes, what everyone not believe, it is not true na, until it gets proved. So before it gets proof, if you are believing that argument only because everyone believes that, then it is ad populum fallacies. Understood?
Yes, sir. Give a few seconds, sir.
Okay. Till then, anyone else, can you explain this ad populum fallacies with one more example? Anyone?
So there is a popular belief that women are not good drivers. That is a stereotype.
Yeah, and only because of that stereotype or that popular belief, if your family is not allowing you to drive, giving argument that everyone believes that women are not a good driver, so this is ad populum fallacy. This point is not yet proved. Okay, very good. Next is appeal to authority fallacies. Appeal to authority fallacies means accepting a claim as true simply because someone in a position of authority or expertise say it is true. First, we are going with belief of crowd, we are going with belief of people. Then in this, we are going with belief of someone who is at a authority or who is expert in something. For example, you can take example of any authority. This authority can be any person, can be any book, or can be anything. For example, just don't mind this, but if something written in Patanjali Yoga Sutra and for example, if someone is telling you that there is no benefits of meditation and you are giving him counter explanation, no, it is not like that. Many benefits of meditation are written in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Will it be a valid argument for him?
Mm.
No, it will not be a valid argument because until or unless something proved, you cannot believe on any book, you cannot believe on any person. It's different. Like we are having belief on some books, we are having beliefs on some gurus, some person. It is good for us. But if someone is not believing on them, then we cannot force anyone to believe on that book. And this is the real problem happening in today's society. If you are not believing in someone religious book, if you are not believing in someone's uh, some books in which some communities having faith, then they will not accept it. For Indian society, for Hindu mythology, it is very well understood that if you are not believing in a particular book, then it is good. Like no one will question you. We have Charvak Darshan. Charvak Darshan. Have you ever heard of Charvak Darshan?
Yes, sir.
So Charvak Darshan is a stream of Indian philosophy which used to say that God is not there, soul is not there, only what we can see is there. So in our Hindu mythology, in our Indian darshan, this Charvak darshan also developed side by side. No one is going to force you. Even this is the most beautiful things of Indian or Hindu mythology is that you can even question decision of Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. We are worshipping these as God, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna. These are our idols. But still, someone can question why they have done this. Then the guru or the spiritual guru, they will answer. They will not say, why are you going against them? Why are you asking question against them? So this is the most beautiful things of Indian philosophy is that you don't have to follow some certain path. If you are not finding bhakti yoga good, you can do meditation. If you are not finding meditation good, you can do hatha yoga. If you are not finding the murti puja good, you can go to uh, nirgun bhakti or nirakar path you can take. If you are not okay with nirakar path, you need some idol to have your devotion, to have your emotion, to develop your emotion, then you can go to sagun bhakti. So this is most beautiful things of Indian or Hindu mythology. But unfortunately, this condition does not apply in most of the religion. According to them, if some book or some person is saying something, that means that should be true because that is our authority, and this is one of the fallacies. And one more bad thing is that slowly it is also spreading in Hindu community also. So this is appeal to authority fallacy. I will give one example of this. This fallacy involves accepting a claim. You should accept a claim truly simply because someone in a position of authority say it is true. For example, you have heard of Galileo. Galileo is famous for inventing telescope. So after inventing telescope, Galileo said that it is not sun who is revolving earth, it is earth who is revolving sun. So there were members of Catholic Church. They told him that it should not be right because in Bible it is written that earth is not revolving sun is revolving earth, it is written in Bible. So you have to accept that because it is written in our Bible, it is our authority, and if our authority is saying sun is revolving earth, then simply you have to believe that sun is revolving earth. So Galileo, after inventing telescope, He said, I cannot accept this because live you can see that Earth is revolving around the sun. So then they just hang Galileo to death. So this type of fallacy is appeal to authority when someone forces you to believe something because some authority says that it should be believed. This authority can be any guru, can be any high authority person like prime minister, this can be any religious book, or this can be anything. Is this clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, any doubt you have or any message you have done there? Okay, next is false dilemma fallacy. False dilemma fallacies means when false dilemma fallacy. Just a minute, I will erase all this. What is false dilemma fallacy? Dilemma, what is dilemma means?
Confusion.
Confusion means you are having confusion in two things, that is dilemma. So false dilemma fallacies means when in a argument if someone is forcing you to a dilemma condition. For example, a wife is arguing with एक minute. If a wife is arguing with her husband, like buy a car or I will go to maternal home. This example is given to explain this false dilemma fallacy. You will find this example in most of the books, like buy me a car or I will go to maternal home. So what the wife is doing here, she is just giving two options. She is producing a dilemma that you have only two options, either buy a car or I will go to maternal home. There is also one more possibility, na, that husband will not buy a car and she will not go to maternal home. That condition is also there, nothing will happen then. So false dilemma fallacy means when it is also known as black or white. You have to only choose between black or white. You don't have any other options. If someone created some these type of fake situation for you, then it is false dilemma fallacy. For example, if I told my friend, if I will tell my friend that I don't like BJP, then he will tell he is telling me that you don't like BJP, that means you are liking Congress. What he is doing, he is just creating only two choices for me, two extreme choices for me. He is not okay with, okay, I am not liking BJP, it can also be happen I am not liking Congress also, and I am not interested in politics. So this is false dilemma fallacies where we are limiting options to two extreme, ignoring other available choices. It is false dilemma fallacies. Either that person is very good or either he is very bad. What if he is not good, not bad, he is just a okay person? Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is an example. Either you are with us or you are against us. This is a fallacy of false dilemma fallacy. Straw man fallacy. Straw man fallacies is very much used in Indian politics, in Indian homes. Straw man fallacies. So what is straw man? Straw man means straw man we mostly use to protect our fields, but it is also used in logical reasoning to protect our argument. For example, this is person A, this is person B. Person A is giving very good argument, they are debating. So person A is giving argument, girls are not safe in India. This is argument of person A. So now person B have to reply to this argument and he is not having a good argument. So what he will do, he will just intentionally he will misinterpret this argument and create a false straw man of this argument. Straw man means a fake human. So B will create a fake argument of this argument, means he will just misinterpret or mold this argument and he will reply, so you are not having belief in Indian police. What we have created, he just misinterpret this argument into that A is not having belief in Indian police. So what we are doing here in strawman fallacy, when we don't have particular answer to someone's argument, we just misrepresent opponent argument in order to make it easier to attack. For example, if they claim we want to ban all cars, but in reality, we are advocating for better public transportation. For example, if someone is putting ban on cars, so it doesn't mean that he is having some personal disrespect for car or he is not liking car. It is because he is advocating for better public transportation. So what they do, they just change this argument, not liking car, into we are advocating for public transportation. So in strawman fallacy, what we do, instead of addressing the argument directly, a distorted version is presented to make it easier to refute. If someone is giving some strong argument, first you will change that argument into a weak argument smartly, and then you will reply to this weak argument. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, give us some time to make a note of this.
Okay. One more example of this strawman fallacy. For example, nowadays it happens very much in the name of armed forces and in the name of police forces. For example, if the party in opposition, if he will answer the ruling party that you are not taking proper steps against China and China is invading our country. For example, this is claim of party of opposition that China is invading our country. So what the ruling party should, he should give proper proof that China is not invading our country. These are the map, these are the previous maps, these are the present borders, that China is not invading our country. The ruling party should do this. But instead of this, what's the ruling party do?
They will try to bring up points saying that these people don't have a. I mean, these people are trying to blame because of.
They
They
are
try to.
direct. No? They are directly saying, no, you people don't have belief on our armed forces. Our armed forces are standing there day and night, and you are not believing on them. The point is, the opposition party is not saying something against armed forces. He's just saying the on the intent of the ruling party, like you are not giving proper attention to our borders. Because who is giving instruction to armed forces? Only the ruling party. So if the opposition is raising question that our border is not safe, China is invading our border, so the ruling party ideally should give them proof. But instead of giving them proof, they will say, so you are not believing our armed forces and you are anti-national. So this is an example of strawman fallacy. If you will listen some debates, then you will find all these strawman fallacies. And to understand all these strawman fallacies or all these fallacies, first you have to be very neutral. Then only you can understand all these fallacies in any argument. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Next is circular reasoning fallacies. Circular reasoning fallacies. Circular reasoning fallacies is that you are being when the conclusion of an argument is used as one of the premises, means you are giving some circular argument and you are just trying to just trying to outsmart a person. For example, Bible is true. Why? Because it is word of God. And how you can say that Bible is word of God? Because it is written in Bible only. So this is circular reasoning fallacies. You can also take our example also. Gita is true because it is word of God. And why it is word of God? So you should give proof. You should explain things of Srimad Bhagavad Gita rather than saying because it is written in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So if you are presenting your belief to someone which is not believing you, then you cannot include your faith. Then you cannot do these circular reasoning fallacies. You should explain morally, you should explain unbiasedly. So Bible is true. How you can say that? Because it is word of God. And how you can say it is word of God? Because it is only written in Bible. And this is very much happening in most of the religion. For example, Quran, for example, Bible, you have to follow everything of these books in our scriptures also, but we have a freedom that we can question, but most of the religion don't give that freedom. Again, I am stating you so that I think every Indian or should understand the beauty of this Indian philosophy, that we have this independence of creation. We have the independence of going against or questioning. And it leads to a very beautiful society. That's why you will not see any Vaishnav. Vaishnav means those are believing in Vishnu. They will go and they will destroy the idols of Lord Shiva because we are okay with everything. We can question that. We are given freedom of questioning, and we are not like that. If I am a Vaishnav, I will believe on Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, and then I will go and I will tear all the Shiv Mahapuran. It is not like that. In our society, we have a freedom of creation, a freedom of questioning, but and this should be maintained. If someone is asking you question regarding Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then you should not be angry on that person, like how can you say that it is a religious book? You should answer that person with logic, and at the end everyone is having a independence. If I want to believe something, I can believe it. I don't want to believe something, you cannot force me. So this beautiful philosophy of Indian philosophy, Indian culture, Hindu philosophy, and this should remain as it is. That's why we have many texts. We don't have any one particular books. We have four Vedas. We have it, uh, 108 Upanishads, 18 Smritis, 18 Purans. Despite of all this, every sant came and he wrote his own book. Like Kabir, he wrote Bijak. Tulsidas, he wrote Ramcharitmanas. Because we are accepting everything. We cannot say that we already have Vedas. Why are you writing all these books? So this beauty of Indian culture should be maintained. And these types of fallacies, these type of argument, we should not give to anyone. Like our scripture is true because it is word of God. And why it is word of God? Because it is written in our scripture. These types of things should not happen. It is circular reasoning fallacies. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, slippery slope fallacies. Slippery slope fallacies. What does this slippery slope fallacies mean? Slippery slope fallacies. It starts. Slippery slope means you are just. It is a slope, and you slipped on that, and you will directly land to the downside. Means without sufficient evidence, overgeneralizing, you are just giving creating new scenarios. For example, your friend is asking 100 rupees from you, then you will say, I cannot give you 100 rupees because right now you are asking 100 rupees from me. Tomorrow, if I will give, then tomorrow you will also ask 100 rupees from me. And day after tomorrow, you will also ask 100 rupees from me. Then after some time, you will ask 100 rupees from someone else. And after some time, you will ask 100 rupees from someone else. Then you will be habitual of getting rupees without doing anything. And then you will be lazy and you cannot do anything in your life. So from just starting from a point, you are going down and down. You are creating new situations without sufficient evidence, overgeneralizing and exaggerating. This is slippery slope fallacies. Again, if you are sitting in exam center and your friend is sitting behind you and he is asking for some help, so you are saying him, I cannot help you, I cannot tell you the right answer, because what will happen, you will be habitual of this, like you are not studying and still you are writing good answer. Then what will happen after some time, wherever you will go, you will know nothing, and then you can create problems in your future. This is slippery slope fallacies. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to write this?
Yes, sir. Give us a few seconds.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, false cause fallacy. False cause fallacy is that when it is based on some temporal sequence lacking proper evidence or reasoning. For example, we should not go if a cat come across in our way. For example, if a cat is crossing way and we are there, then we should not go forward. We should stop there. It is false cause fallacy. It does not have a, we should not go forward. Why? Because a cat just crossed the way. So it is a false cause fallacy. We do not have a proper evidence or proper argument behind this, because like why we are not moving forward, what will happen if we move forward after a cat crossed our way. In ancient times, usually what happens, they used to travel in horses, and while traveling in horses, if a cat is crossing a way or if a horse is seeing a cat, so in dark, the horse mostly misunderstood the cat as some lion, some tiger, because the cat is having same eyes as both of these animals. So what will happen? The horse starts scaring and he can just behave abnormal. So that's why in previous time, whenever there is a cat, they used to stop for some time, they used to calm down their horses and then they move forward. Then they starts a tradition of this. If you are seeing a cat, then you have to stop there. Even now, when you are in a car, when you are in a bike, you will stop there. So it is a false cause fallacy. Every we can say every beliefs which do not have a logic spreads because of this false cause fallacy. You have not a proper cause behind any belief and you have to follow this. Although it is a very good thing that most of the our belief, any belief, for example, we are eating in Sukhasana and we are just piercing our ears. These all are having a proper cause behind them. But you should know the proper cause behind every belief. And if there is no proper cause, then at least you should question that belief. Yeah. If you are not questioning any, if you are not trying to find cause behind any belief, that means it is false cause fallacies. Someone is asking you, please stop here because there is a cat crossing the way. It is false cause fallacies. Every time I wear my lucky shoes, my team wins. So my socks must be the reason for the success. It is false cause fallacy. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
these all are our fallacies. So our Western logic is now completed. In Please revise the Western logic, please revise all the concept. In next two classes we will
You have left a few things before the before the
huh,
formal fallacies, right? Or
yeah,
during the formal fallacies.
few things are remaining that we will cover in our after completing Indian logic. And Indian logic is also very interesting, and then you will realize how developed is our Indian logic. Western logic comes after 17th or 18th century. These fallacies are usually, these fallacies came from Aristotle, but they developed after many time. But Indian logic starts from which darshan? Can you tell?
Nyadarshan, sir.
From Nyaya Darshan, so Maharshi Gautam, Akshupad, they start Indian logic, and what they have written in their book, it is advanced than this Western logic. So now you can understand this how Indian philosophy was developed. Okay, so that we will discuss in our next class. It is a little bit complex than this Western logic. We will try to understand. For now, you can leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.